Hey, look, Menupog.
Do you think the results for this match will determine how LCO Split 1 finals will play out?
Definitely not. I think that like both sides are gonna like show like their best that they can, but I don't really think that this match is like all important because
Just a lot going on there in the background. I love the shenanigans we get to see from the Chiefs' house. Unfortunately, we don't get, like the PGG shenanigans that we got at the start of the split, because they all split up. Occasionally we get, Mark running through the background. That's Prated. I can call him by his first name because I know who he is. He probably disagrees. He'd be like, who? Who's that Mac guy? Huh? When? Free real estate? Something, chaz it up. I don't know. Anyway, look, we got a second game to quickly talk about as well, which we do have to send it into, Skimmy. You're right. It's going to be Order and Mammoth, but let's talk Order first. Bit of a hiccup yesterday, of course, and that's not what you want to see from a team that is already qualified for the playoffs and hunting for as much, I guess, extra practice, going into that one. They need to be able to fix those little issues that keep on arising. And again, it's worth pointing out that Maximize is still here, rumbling it up in the jungle, Skimmy.
Certainly is. I mean, as far as things went, very different style of how both junglers wanted to play things, right? He went very much gank heavy as opposed to his jungle opponent who went all about farm. There were a few moments, right? I think the most notable one that Rusty called out was when the blast cone went across. Bio jumps in his Tryndamere. He gets knocked down and goes, hang on a minute, I can't help you. But that comp had a lot of, heavy skirmishing potential, maybe just a little bit lackluster in terms of range. Very close quarters.
Yeah.
So there were a few hiccups in that regard, right, if the fight didn't go exactly their way. I think that's really been the story of Order this entire split. There have been a lot of bumps in the road. They've looked really, really strong at some times, and other times they haven't. But I think the one thing we've gathered from all of Biopem's interviews is they've never shrugged off their confidence, feeling really good about things.
Yeah, just not having Kebby there, of course, puts the focus on a few more members to do the carrying. But of course, we've got to talk about team number 2 in the matchup, and that is Mammoth. Hashtag Tusks up, Rusty.
Yeah, Tusks up for Mammoth. They had a very winnable game yesterday, Mac. I think that's the best way that I could explain it. But it was also extremely losable, and they found a way. So they did end up losing to Kanga yesterday. There was a lot of fundamental things that I do think that Mammoth kind of did incorrectly, but at the same time, we have positives to take away from it. It's just that it kept happening in mid lane. Last time we saw these two teams face, like you're seeing now as well, it's once again an adventurous champion select from Mammoth. Voice has really put the foot down for the team and said, I will be the carry. And this was one of the first games where we saw that beginning, right? Yesterday was a Draven, so it's not like it stopped anytime soon. And look, this one was really tragic.
I think it may have been the second, maybe even the third time for the split that Hevelin managed to slip in as well, and that was never going to go well for Mammoth because the man is a machine on that. But he's not here today, so Mammoth at least have that going for them. And also, to your point before, you can't have fundamentals, Rusty, without fun. And that's what Mammoth did yesterday. So we'll see if they can have some fun, but also remember those fundamentals today.
I mean, this isn't primary school. I mean, you could definitely still have fundamentals without the fun, as long as you get the wins, I guess. But you know what? I'm with you, Mac. We should be having fun. We're playing video games.
You just want to see the Dementals? Is that what you're telling me?
I just want the Dementals.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple of Dementals going on this game.
Have fun after.
If the fun comes through, because I know both of these teams have had fun, have tested some limits from time to time. Skimmy, what do you got to say for Mammoth? What can they do to pick up from that, I guess, schmozzle of a match yesterday?
Yeah, I think we checked in at one stage, right, and Voice was like 6,000 gold ahead of anybody else in this team. It really was protect the VIP that game. So I would love to see them say that, yes, we can certainly play towards your lane, but we don't need to be grouped up as a 5-man squad playing ARAM just in Summoner's Rift. They fell behind ultimately because everybody else was, 100 and 120 CS ahead. So it was the Draven show. He's a single target character, and just got bodied by a single Aatrox, really.
I was happy that we finally got to see some Draven, and someone I'm always happy to see as well is Kitty. Let's bring her back into the conversation because you've got someone ready for the pre-game.
Yes, I brought in Voice for tonight's interview for his match tonight. So, Voice, would you rather have a 15-minute game where the enemy FF and it was a really one-sided game, or would you rather have a game like the Kanga vs Mammoth match last night where it's just 40 minutes of pain?
Losing in 15 minutes is pretty nice because I get to go play Karthus and solo queue after, so I definitely prefer that.
Well, that's good to know. Well, tell us about your decision from picking the Draven last night against Kenga and what you guys could have changed to actually secure the win.
I don't know. I just saw Aphelios locked, and then like we've picked Ezreal a billion times into it, and I was just like, it doesn't really seem to work. And I just said like, fuck it, just give me Draven, I'll carry. And so I think during that game we got a little bit like desperate to end the game. We just kind of walked into their base like 3 times and just got aced. So I think if we like end the game properly, we would have won that game.
It's okay, you live and you learn, but how would you actually reflect on your performance so far this split being a rookie yourself?
I'd say I've been gapped by pretty much every AD in this league, so I'd say it's pretty bad to be honest, but I mean, I have a long way to go, right? I knew that coming into it, and split 2, it's just the same thing. I just got to keep working hard to try and catch up.
And everyone in the Twitch chat knows that you are an avid gum chewer, so would you like to tell us what your favorite gum flavor is?
I'm using this one right here. It's a watermelon burst 5 gum.
That watermelon is the goated flavor from 5 gum. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Hopefully you're gonna choose some more gum in your game, and I'm actually gonna go grab some watermelon 5 gum flavor for myself, and best of luck.
Karthus.
Karthus.
And on that note, I wonder if we're going to be seeing Karthus coming through from Mammoth in the draft. Maybe he's dropping bombs, huh? Is that what's going on, Rusty?
I don't know, dude. I can't tell you what they're going to do. They're just saying a champion name out loud.
You've got the brain. You know, I thought that, you know, maybe that was code for something. And you know,
No,
Kitty,
I
you've
think
got
they're
the
just
challenger
being
brain.
cheeky, Mac.
Being cheeky?
Yeah, I reckon they're being super cheeky here.
Being cheeky? We'll see if there's a Karthus band coming through. They're just playing the mind games. Now, of course, you guys get those Twitch points in, get the Twitch predictions cranking, because the Dare fan vote is ramped up and ready to go, and it's waiting for you. Put your Twitch points on one of these teams to get the dub. You can get heaps of Twitch points. I think, you know, Carbon, he was balling out in chat yesterday. I think he got one of those like 20% to 80% Dare fan votes correct. So he's pretty rich at the moment. Ask him if he can spare a couple of those Twitch points, because I know a lot of people lost a lot of Twitch points yesterday. But look, let's talk about our predictions as well before, of course, we jump on into the game. And it's all order even after that performance yesterday. So, Skimmy, tell me why.
Yeah, I think both times they've got up against, much like the last game that we saw, both times Order have taken on Mammoth. It's been usually a one-sided affair, both 26-minute victories. Pumish is sort of outclassed, both in laning phase and ultimately in the game as a whole. So I think you're looking at a case of 2 phenomenal AD carries individually, but Order having a lot more well-rounded team that can actually play around him, but find strength individually too.
Okay, Rusty, give me a percentage-based prediction here. So you're going with the 70%, or are you thinking it's more like a 60-40?
Oh, it's so hard to say after yesterday's games, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 80-20.
Okay, and on that note, Champ Select is ready, so let's jump on into game number 2 for the final day of groups here on the LCO.
Let's do it. Let's jump in and see how this one does fare. With another game of Maximize in the jungle, the super sub, the one of Order 2021 that came onto the desk as a emerging caster, but he's now back in the hot seat playing the video game. Mammoth for the left-hand side here with first pick. A chance to see what they can do, as no surprises right out the gates here from Order. A lot of AD carry bans.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything too crazy for the first 3 bans. Once again, we're seeing another Gwen targeted towards Order, and it is interesting because we've seen such a significant drop-off of both Gwen and Xin, as we stated yesterday, but still, people getting their target bans.
He's loving it, isn't he?
Just aren't messing around, are they? They've made it crystal clear. I don't know if you've seen them in Twitch chat at all tonight for everyone at home as well, but they've really just been saying the word Karthus off cooldown. So I guess we can't be surprised, hey?
No, we can't. I did see during the segment where we were comparing old splash shots as well, even McCarthy's coming out there. So
Yeah.
certainly going down memory roads, as Max is showing a bit of respect here to Kevy with the Evelyn as well as the Kane. Would be surprised, maybe even pleasantly surprised if he locked in one of those, but we expected to see the Lee Sin yesterday. That was banned, went to the Zid instead. Seems to be spamming a fair bit of it in the Sonic Q realm, so I get to see what tickles his fancy here.
Whatever they're picking here is just going to be a champion that is blind. Now, usually you would see an AD picked first for most teams, or a jungler picked first. Karthus is an oddball. With respect to standard drafting, we have to assume it's going jungle, but we don't really know. We've seen in solo queue, you know, there's some Karthus AD players, there's some Karthus mid players that exist. Certainly possible.
Yeah.
But we'll wait and see where they choose to go. Order on the other side did in fact go for the Tahm Kench second. I just think Tahm Kench is a great support right now. It means it's very flexible to play any kind of composition. I'm not speaking towards the lane itself, right? But I really do think that Tahm Kench enables literally every AD to do their job successfully. So I like it as a second pick going into your third pick into bans. It just gives you a lot of extra power.
It does, and given that we have seen how skirmish heavy bot lane has been, it does really feel like the Tahm Kench is giving teams a huge advantage, not only in the damage department. Tongue Lash is just insane in its own sense, but just the mitigation, right? The durability to keep getting in their face and find a stun.
All right, Skimmy.
Obviously, Devour.
Tell me where it's going. Where's the Karthus going now?
Look, I want to say it's bot lane.
Yeah.
I really would love to see it go bot lane.
Has to be, right? It has to be AD or like voice playing Karthus.
Unless we get like a laning trundle.
Or it's mid. So this is
a laning trundle, W max.
Yeah, you could, but there's a trend mid, so it'd have to be trend mid. And so we're confused. we're going to the 4-5 bans. Let's see what order choose to go for, because it's really, I would say, the only predictable place to ban right now is support. Get rid of the Yuumi or something, you know? Like, I don't know. You've got Tahm Kench locked in. I feel like it's the one role that is logical to just get rid of some real support champions.
Yeah, Karthus Yuumi would be a fun time, wouldn't it? Certainly with the rest of the champions that it could couple onto. They're only going to be denied away instead, though. We do know that Rocco loves a bit of Yuumi, so it certainly would make sense on two different folds. But yeah, I'm certainly entertained by the idea of where these champions can land on either side so far.
Look, Camille going to be taken away here from BioPanther. He also showed yesterday, and I mean, this is really refreshing for us as viewers, that honestly it's just a very clean trimmed performance from BioPanther. One of the few carry champions we've seen from him, so big ups to Bio for showing off, you know, a couple of new champions. Very handy before playoffs and getting them in on stage, but a lot more of the standard champions from Bio that would be considered carries are going to be taken away from him here. Does make you wonder exactly what the top lane matchup will be. I've seen Camille used as like a diffusal pick into Tryndamere top, but I'm also wondering where that Trundle comes into play. Because Aatrox is an odd ban. Like Aatrox, to me, Aatrox and Camille bans almost indicates that like Tron wants a Nah, I suppose.
Yeah, it would seem possible.
It's not a Gragas. Like they're not banned for a Gragas top or anything. It could still be a Twin top or a Trundle top. We don't know.
We've certainly got a fair few options to consider right now, as Voice is going to cycle through a number of different AD carries. Apparently hovering Quinn, which we've not seen in a hot minute.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess that's the meta. That's the meta version. You ban Camille, you ban Aatrox, you pick Sion. Both champions excel big time into Sion as a pick. So that does make some sense. But now we'll have to see exactly what's happening here with the final pick from Mammoth. It should be a support. We should just know where everything's going. Refury, Tryndamere, Mayfarn, Trundle, and Voice Karthus. But, I mean, this last pick needs to still confirm it.
Yeah, what is your support? Are you thinking like a center or a
Okay, I
Braum
can't
for some
confirm anything.
CC? Okay,
I think it's Trundle support.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, a CC at the end of the day, right between the pillar and the wall of death. Very hard to walk away, but...
I am going to say... Trundle support, I like into Tahm Kench, but you are extremely vision reliant. In the sense that you can use Pillar to stop a Tahm Kench from even using the W, right? Also, Trundle Pillar, if you max Pillar, the slow percentage is incredibly high, and it means that it's very easy for a Karthus to hit the Skittles, right? To hit the late waste on everybody that is around that Pillar, so really nice for skirmishing. And it also means that you can immediately one-hit a target that tries to engage on you. So let's just say the Tahm Kench goes in on a Trundle and a Karthus, you actually just one-hit the Tahm Kench. That's the way that you'd be operating in that lane. So, I mean, in theory, that's how I see it, but you're asking me to break down something that we have never seen.
No, we just...
Is it real?
We're in the dark. We're essentially just on a ride, a journey to explore the idea of what this could do. I'm imagining, you know, we're going to get the Trundle. Well, this is what I'm curious on, right? What variation of Trundle is it going to be? Is it going to go Hella Blades for damage? Are we thinking Guardian for protection? Are we thinking Glacial Augment just to be a real menace?
You got to be. It's got to be Glacial.
Surely, right?
It'd be rude not to be Glacial, because it means the pillar value is just insanely high.
It's not broken. It's already.
But like straight up, Tron is playing Tryndamere, Refury is playing Siren into Akali, and Mayfart is playing an AD champion for a triple AD topside into a Gnar. And it's just like, we haven't really spoken about what their comp does. We've just sat here baffled a little bit by the choice of a Karthus Trundle bot lane.
Yeah.
And their opponents are just good. Like, that is just, like, Maximize got Lee Sin, like, he wrap it up, right? Was banned from him yesterday. Biopantheon, one of his best champions by far. Kisei on an assassin is just prototypical Kisei, right? It's something that we very rarely get to see, but it is always nice. And Puma, Corporal, you're not killing both of those champions. You've got a Tahm Kench Eat, you've got a Xayah Ultimate. Both deal excellently against a Karthus. It's a tough life for Mammoth, but hey, they're not here for a long time.
No, they certainly are here for a good time, as the famous song did tell me once upon a time. It does really just feel to me as if Mammoth basically said, this is a barbecue comp. There's just a lot of meat coming out in your face. It might not be seasoned. It certainly could be saucy, but it's going to be entertaining.
Cooked.
Yeah, it's certainly cooked. That's what I'm looking for on this occasion. As we load in for what is Mammoth's final game of the split order here. Also on that 10-10 record, looking for another dub as they go into playoffs week. We might, before we jump into that coaching interview, have some cheeky shenanigans here at a level 1.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I just hold my nerve for a second here.
I think we're alright, Skimmy. I think we can interview the coach.
Yeah. All right. No Caster Curse here today. I do believe then we have Coach Rowe on the line from the side of Mammoth, conveniently enough. So, Rowe, final game of the split. How are you feeling? How's the team? And sort of how do you, reflect on this entire journey so far?
Hey, so with this game, I mean, we're feeling pretty good. We came into this with one goal, right, which is just to try stuff and to just go crazy. Final game of the split, make it something to remember, right? And then as for the whole split and reflecting on it, it's been a wild ride for my first split and everyone's first split, right? It's been so much we've had to learn, and for me, the main thing is that reflecting on the split, I'm like, coaching isn't just knowing good League of Legends, it's being able to work with people, right? And that's something I've had to learn, and I still have to improve on.
Yeah, certainly there's a lot more to it than it seems at face value. I certainly agree with you on that one. In terms of memorable drafts, I mean, this would certainly be up there. Certainly had us second-guessing our profession as to what we're looking at. So it's just a case of players having fun, or was this a little bit of solo queue tech that's come through?
I mean, it's just like we're trying stuff out. Maybe we will try it again at a future date, but we might as well just like play it on stage once and then be like, yeah, we played that on stage. You have to respect it, and also we've got some experience on it. And then, yeah, I mean, there's some solo queue stuff. There's a little bit of just willingness to play whatever we want to play. So let's get in there and make it good.
Yeah, certainly something to terrify teams going forward for Split 2. On a quick final note, you have to tell me, now the players have been spamming it all over social media, also in the LCO chat. What is this obsession with just saying the word Karthus?
I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Like 2 hours ago or something, we're doing a final draft prep, right? And then like we just lost it. I'm not even like like nothing else about it. We just started spamming Karthus, and we thought it was really funny, and wanted to see if they would ban Karthus, and then if they didn't, then we just 1P it. So that's what happened.
It sometimes happens that way. Well, I wish you boys the best of luck. It's been a great journey so far for you guys, so no doubt looking forward to what this one presents as well.
Thanks very much. See ya.
Looking at a big max gank down here in bottom. Does get cancelled. Skimmy as we get back into this. Exactly what I was talking about in Champ Select with Puma.
Going quite keen for this one, aren't they? Max has spent a fair bit of time in that tri-bush waiting to make his move as Order's bot lane do try to force things to make that time spent valuable. We did cast the curse, unfortunately. Look, I'm sorry. I tried to call it with that level 1 gank. It wasn't to be. I had to find out the information. What is this Karthus tech?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's the first blood.
Listen, I've been thinking about it. And Scion rounds out Mammoth's composition to be absolutely perfect, Skimmy, for inting. So Karthus went dead, right? All they're missing is a Cogmore, I'll be honest. It should probably be Scion top, Cogmore AD. But realistically, what's going to happen here is they're going to die, and then they're going to have passives after death that make them overpowered. So how do you stop them from winning a team fight, Skimmy? That's the question.
What I need to ask you then is, what are we calling this? Is this Afterlife Gaming? Is this Graveyard Gaming? What would you...
Graveyard Gaming. Rocco's dead.
Coin this one?
He's currently Graveyard Gaming, so I think we'll go with that.
Sure.
Can't
Mayfire looking to try and find another one. Pops his head into top lane. Max not too far behind, hits the Sonic Wave, and is going to wait for him to burrow across. There's the flash on your head, and he slaps the ground by flashing forward with a stun. But a great flash to respond, as Tron was in a world of trouble if he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Max is clean with it. I mean, if that's a test of mechanics for the Lee Sin, why do you ban it? I mean, there's the perfect example of it. Rocco, just looking at how he dies here, it has to be an E-flash. Yeah, Puma just hits the E-flash, auto attack, easy kill. You can probably see it coming if you are Rocco, but can you stop it when you've just used your flash and all of the summoners bot lane during that last skirmish? When Maximize was down there, Puma forced that one. Well played by the side of Order. Also well played by Order top lane, right? So a couple of kills across the board going their way.
Not going to stop yet, but that's the interaction you highlighted. The pillar interrupting the dive from the Tahm Kench, making his life a bit of a living misery. Certainly, if Order's comp does go in, with a maxed out pillar, very hard for them to then go out. Guess they copied a bit of a beating on that one too. My question, now, we have seen a fair bit of Scion elsewhere in the League of Legends landscape.
Sure.
If this really is going to be, in your face, straight sending it, would you love to see the lethality Scion here? It's just, he's Prowler Claw in the afterlife, and he's just making you rage.
Yeah, I mean, I would be down for that, actually. I think it'd be cool to see that build, but, I mean, expectations here with Grasp of the Undying is that we will be seeing a tank Scion. It is also odd in hindsight that they banned 2 top lane counter picks to the Scion before putting it mid, but I'm not here to critique Mammoth's drafting, they're here for fun. So, what's the point? We'll just live and learn as the game progresses. Rocco setting up bot lane.
Certainly looking for it. Oh, is Rocco in trouble? No, it's Voice in trouble. In comes the Scion! Slamming the ground, but missing it because there's the flash away. The pillar interrupting it. No! The slam after is enough as they claim 2 and lose nothing.
Yeah, Mayfarn with another nice little gank, actually. I would say Mayfarn has been very successful so far in this one. Lots of good ganks so far. Mid lane in particular, that first blood has now just spotted them with the Tremor Sense, gets confirmation. Refury's still nearby, so Voice will be able to crash the wave in, Skimmy. Things will be perfectly fine. I just want to quickly touch on this while we're seeing it. Black Panther went Ignite in his lane. I really like that, because when you're against the Tryndamere, you know, right? You just know that there's going to be no teleport. We've seen this done by Kyosei in mid lane as well as the Cassiopeia into the Tryndamere. He went for Ghost, but I guess Ignite is just a little bit of extra kill threat, and it almost guarantees that if a Tryndamere is diving you, you're trading. Because if he ults, you get the Ignite off at the right time, you know, like a second or so into it, you actually have the trade lethal 100%.
Oh, sure, right. Especially if the ult expires, he's trying to claim that Fury back as health underneath turret, fully ramped up. Very hard to then escape in that situation. Max looking to try and make that first play towards the Drake. Easier said than done. A lot of members of Mammoth in the area. Certainly keen to go for another scrap. Waiting, just really waiting for the fireworks to truly kick off when there's the Requiem across the map and everyone's just going absolutely ham with it.
Mayfarn is still hovering around the bottom lane. Rocco going to clear the control ward finally as he realizes he has been standing on it for a second. And this does kind of open the floor. Rocco realistically should have a sweeper here and should be using it on the way through, but it's on cooldown. So that second bush is not real, and Mayfarn without flash has to play from the furthest back position. So there's no way that gank will ever be successful. This is just going to be a recall from the side of Mammoth. Also, just for anyone who doesn't know what Trundle support does, it really is just the pillar. Like, Trundle support offers you a chomp, which takes away AD. We'll hold that.
Hold that indeed, yeah. Puma certainly going to go for this one. His Voice is sent straight packing. Should I hit them Skittles? That comes the Requiem. It's not enough for lethal just yet, but it could open up an invitation for a cross-map play. Nobody in the area for it, however.
Nah. It's just not even a first strike Karth Assault. Just a Karth Assault.
Did he even get a Dark Harvest? I don't think anyone was low enough, so he's just chucking it out for good measure.
I don't think he got anything. He just pressed R. Exhaust used, just dies. I'm not sure exactly what happened down there. But I'll just quickly finish up what a Trundle support does before something else happens.
Yeah, sure.
The Chomp takes AD away from carries, so you can see how useful it would be into a champion like Azaya, even an auto attack based champion like Corporal, and a lot of junglers. I mean, yeah, Rocco just tries to be aggressive here and help when Corporal goes forward, but you're not winning that 2v2 ever. That's all it comes down to. The pillar also with Glacial is kind of insane. Just because it creates a slow field that shoots out in 3 directions from the point where you get hit by a pillar that already slows you. So you're actually stuck, right? And the ultimate taking resistances away usually means if you're against an Aftershock support, that's where Trundle gets stonks, right? Or an Aftershock jungler, perhaps, if you're playing as like a roaming Trundle with your team. This is a Guardian, Tahm Kench. So it really was just a Trundle that was used flexibly, I suppose. And it is all about getting that ability haste and using the pillar off cooldown, usually pillar max. You could maybe put an extra point into the queue if you're feeling yourself, but that's not usually the play ever.
We'll go one step further and he'll just lock it in Imperial Mandate and say, you know what, forget about Locket, it's overrated. And we're truly gaming as a Trundle player. That is what I'd love to see, but it would seem a little bit crazy.
I mean, old Trundle used to straight up just brawl, right? Like, you used to just get right in their face, level 1, have Chomp get bush control, and again, it was usually against someone that you can duel in the support role and the ultimate utility from 6, but this is a different breed of Trundle, rather. You could almost say for fun. For Fundle? No, I don't like it.
Fundle.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah,
No,
look,
it's cringe.
maybe you need to say it a few too many times. You know, you got to kill the part of you that finds it cringe. Embrace
It's
it.
turbo cringe, man.
Turbo
Turbo
cringe, fair
cringe.
enough. You got it in there before Twitch caught us out. So they can't harm us with their words anymore. Let's see what happens here,
They've
though.
never harmed us before.
Too much power for them. Look at the slow. It's essentially a stun. But he just can't do anything about it. He gets rooted as the Featherstorm gets ripped back and he tries to go underground and pounce upon a kill target. Not going to find it, though. All that strength and numbers barking back.
Yeah, the Prowlers was nice from Mayfun, but again, it's a Tahm Kench. This is really not the lane that you should be ganking at any time, but it's the one they will continue to try and gank for because it is Mammoth, it is Voice, and it is a Karthus AD. But again, Maximize will be here. They'll match it. You'll see a Herald summoned, a couple of turret shots tanked by Maximize, but in the end, he'll be fine. First turret secured. It's going to be very easy pickings here for the side of Order.
Certainly is. In terms of a bit of counter ganking and right place, right time, finding the punishment, finding the kill, and finding a turret in the process of it. There's the ignite going out nice and early as Bio leaps on his head, stuns him, buying time, Undying Rage trying to expire. Bio does have flash, he has kill pressure, chucks out a boulder, flashes forward, and smacks him to the head as he flashes away.
I mean, Biopanther had ult there, so I am wondering if he was just really afraid of Tron's damage. But I think the reality is, and he'll maybe be able to even see that in the VOD review, that he just had kill threat if he used the ult and pulled the Tryndamere back away from the turret. But the flash will get used, still very well done by Biopanther. 4 cull stacks away on a recall though, that is extremely tilting. If Voice gets hit by that E, I think he actually dies even through exhaust. So that was a bold decision by the Karthus.
I love watching Akali gameplay though, certainly once you get a bit of damage online. Forget about the Chem Tank one, that was a bit of a specimen, but certainly the full AP. See that perfect execution come across and yeah, those nimble moves that catch you off guard. Look at that for Order. 70% of you are in favor of them taking out this one. No surprises there. Certainly in the lead at this stage, only 13 minutes in. Already grouping up in mid.
And this won't stop. Well, that is unstoppable, but like the winning of top lane matchups, if a Nara and a Sion face each other at this point in the game, is extremely Nara favored. That's to be expected for the rest of the game, to be perfectly honest, with a Trinity Force build on the horizon here for Biopanther as well.
Turret plating will fall soon.
How many more players can be found before they fall on down? That is the question.
I think you
Still
really...
2 outers remain.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really just need to have assignments of, like, Sion into Akali. Because Akali should run out of energy before she gets a kill, Kisei.
Kisei gets pounced upon by the Prowler's Claw on Vision, so it was easy for them to make that one, down to 50%. Inside the Shroud right now, kill attempt goes across, Devour denies it. The wall goes down, but it's not enough for them to get slowed. Tron hits the Ghost, hitting the pedal to the metal as the Requiem comes down, literally tickles him, but now he's got an assist in the air. A shutdown found, 2 for the Tryndamere, as he's ultimately going to fall on down to the clapback of a double here for Order in retaliation. They're going to take out Voice, as Puma's trying to peel himself out of this, but he cannot fight it, and Max, the last man standing, will kill confirm again.
And I think they'll just be a little bit sad that they didn't have a teleport available for the Sion to get into the play, because that was a value Karthus death. That was a good death. And Mammoth actually do get a lot of trade kills back. Order are trying to definitely take these fights on. They're not shying away from any combat. And I mean, it was very adventurous on the start here by Maximize. Kisei is the one who gets initially hit, just sits in his Shroud. Akali with no W means that she won't be able to turn and hit R1 into a Shroud and hide. But Max ward hops about 100 units to miss a Q and then just get beaten up. Has to disengage. Karthus ultimate at the very start of this fight. Voice 0 mana, by the way. Makes you wonder. And then he just gets a lot of kill resets. Presence of mind. Suddenly he's full mana. That's Karthus.
It's the best rune in the game.
Oh, what a rune.
You can't tell me otherwise. I mean, Triumph is insane. But maybe that's my ARAM brain working overtime. Max with the swift action to safeguard away, dodging out the stun from the Sion. Everybody grouped up together now for what is to be the second dragon of this game. Mayfarn compromised, burrowing but falling on down. Big stun by Bio, locking them all in place. He's going to fall on down, but he says, team, it's time to play cleanup. Max misses the Sonic Wave, and is that enough to try and fall on down because Corporal's in trouble? You see it's low as well. Free Fury will get put in to the Afterlife. Rocco, it's a support Trundle trying to run. We're going to get collapsed upon by the Tanketch. There's our first ace of the game.
Yeah, they will eventually get the ace. It will take a significant amount of time in kiting away from a dead Karthus, kiting away from a dead Sion. But nevertheless, the ace is found. A lot of summoners were missing in this particular skirmish as well, just because it was all used in that top fight, right? No Karthus ultimate. Mythic's completed for a lot of champions here, and you can see how much damage the Karthus does. But there's shields from a Tanketch, right? There's shields that come out of this Lee Sin constantly. We'll see the fight again because Biopanther actually puts in a ridiculous amount of work before going down. He'll tick over to Mega as the fight kicks off. Sion tries to make a play, but will get Ward Hop dodged out. And Biopanther just comes in and actually smashes them all. It's a Mayfarn on the side, constantly hunting for Kisei that starts his fight and then just bang. Ooh. Yeah, just stuns 3. Mayfarn left by himself as Biopanther keeps everyone else busy, and that means that a Karthus isn't getting stacks on that E-off to everyone, right? Is stuck next to a wall, not in the middle of combat. If you're going to kill a Karthus in a fight, you do have to usually kite away from it, or just do what Biopanther did, right? Which is remove him from the area that the fight is taking place.
Yeah, it was certainly an honourable death, wasn't it? You know, going to serve these players to you and disassociate them from the fight on a winning turn for them to try and come back into this one. And that means now, back to live we go. What was already a rather significant gold lead is now going to be bolstered by the fact they got double their kills as well. 16-8 very early on into this one. You are looking at the side of Mammoth and saying, okay, what do we need to get online? Well, you want to make sure this Karthus is strong. You'd love to see this Tryndamere find a bit of power as well. But you are a little bit concerned at seeing how Order are steadily achieving and getting bounties on their heads.
And you would look at a Karthus side and say they should be probably down in death. They should just realistically, best case scenario, they're trading 1-for-1 every single time they die as a baseline. But you have to look at the gold difference and say that is just completely blown out. Now 6,000 gold in favor of Order with bounties on board. You can see the total gold values Order are top 4 of the top 5.
Okay, Kisei.
Tron the Pom has been put to rest.
Love to see that. He certainly has.
Actually, just the coffin dance is coming up.
He certainly is as well, yeah. I mean, as far as things go, first game Akali, last game Akali, it's almost cinematic in that regard. Puma, cheeky little 1v2 here, takes out one, hits the Featherstorm, Rocket goes out for good measure, making sure the Layways doesn't snipe him from afar. Max comes in. You can run, but you cannot hide as Max takes him down and will not be pounced upon by that pillar. And I mean, lane assignments, you mentioned it already.
Not your
Man's
side
on a
of
run.
the map. Bio doesn't care. He's just going to push the bot lane in a turret. You cannot stop the resolve of Bio Panther. When he sees objectives, you don't matter.
Could chase, but I could just get another turret. Proxy sign. Nah, never heard of it, mate.
Not even real. Is that going to be Sterax or a Hullbreaker second is the question for Refury. A lot of Scions love a good Sterax build. But Hullbreaker is just kind of good.
We really have seen a big deviation away from the Hullbreaker in recent games as well.
Yeah. Not again.
Oh, no.
I mean, anyone feeling strong deja vu?
Oh, no. I mean, look at Bio's reaction. Even he's just cracking up at it. Blink and you miss it. Tron the Pom is thinking, can I hit ultimate? I'm safe here, right? No.
Oh, Corporal. You have just made a big mistake, buddy.
He's jumped in to the shallow end of the swimming pool. He's hurt his head.
The entirety. Oh, no.
Subjugate went out nicely there. There's the pillar. Is Max in trouble? Surely not. In comes Kisei. Ready to assassinate this Lee Sin. He's now godlike in this game. There's 8 kills for the Sakali. Requiem going to come on down as Kisei gets pounced upon by the Rek'Sai and spoils the party. There's one bounty. It's a lot of gold that went the way of Mayfarn, but it's not enough to equal out what is now becoming a huge blowout. 11k difference.
Yeah, and what is also a 4v5 teamfight victory there by order outright. No Corporal to be seen. And it starts with Maximize pretty low health. We'll end with him not really losing any HP in that one. Incredible fight by the Akali in particular, right? That was just definitely the Kisei show. He's been given a lot of gold, a lot of solo kills in this game, and you can see those items just really starting to go out of control. There's no way Tron doesn't press R a third time, right?
Surely not. There it is. He tried to be the hero. He tried to steal the Baron. Ultimately, he steals himself 30 seconds to take a deep breath and watch the rest of the team now take a 4v5. Out go the Feathers, and down goes the Scion, stunned and rooted, and just absolutely destroyed here. It's a double for Biopanther. The team really now, Rusty, is competing for who can get the most kills in this game.
Yeah, it's now 10-28 in the kill score, and this gold lead, I think it was like 6k 2 minutes ago, you know, is now 14. It's just ballooned. 4 more people dead here. Voice, the last man standing, someone who's destined to die being a Karthus. Almost face checks a 1 hit from Puma there if he wasn't careful, but will be allowed to live. Here's a piece of the gods for 1 more day. But Mammoth, you have to imagine Skimmy will reset and they will go straight back to another team fight.
What other choice do they have, really, at this stage? Certainly not feeling like a game that's going to be decided by a soul point. It's going to be decided by moments like this. The players of order seeking out montage moments. Sidesteps that one. Perfect execution to try and disengage away. And a bit of a dash across the wall, but a pounce by this Rek'Sai, which will not let you escape.
Rek'Sai actually has been traditionally one of the Akali counters because you can always see her in Shroud, right? You've got that pulse, similar to Lee Sin in the way that you can still navigate the area that an Akali exists. And even with the new Rek'Sai ultimate, right? It's been in the game for a while, but so much skill available for tracking an Akali when she tries to disengage. You've seen that a couple times in this game already. It's not that Kisei has gone unchecked. It's that he is just too good and still continues to get those really good teamfight flanks off and solo kills on the Tron.
Uh-oh. Maximize has walked into the wrong neighborhood here. He's in a world of pain. Corporal comes in, backs him up, protects him, gives him a meaty shield. As that blast cone certainly did come in clutch there.
But hey, they'll get a kill onto Kisei. They'll push Max and Corporal out of their jungle. They're also looking to get a top lane outer turret, which has a bounty on it. They're getting some money. They're only down 13,000 and losing the game mid.
Oh, only?
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's not that big of a deal.
Winnable.
Bio says, I don't really want a team fight. I just want to push. I want to end this game, get me up, places to be, things to prep, playoffs to look forward to.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Corporal, what a hero. Flashes in and denies that stun. He's going to die, of course he is, but now his team have been given the weight to avenge their fallen ally. Max down to 50. Playing a little bit of DDR with those layaways. Bio on the flank had enough of split pushing, had enough of winning the game. Inhib's already taken, so what else has he got to do? Max flashing out of turret range. They need to claim that turret as Kisei's back in the business. He's hit his TP down here. He's got an ignite. Now they're just trying to see who can find that kill. It is to be Puma. Has his Feather Sword. Great restraint. In goes Bio. Nega shoves back 2. Voice dodges it. Slams him into the wall. And Bio Panther with the fadeaway boulder.
Just throws the building at him. We'll be able to trade for his life. Actually gets a double. Nice little play there from Bio Panther. Remember that Rocco is a support trundle, so he can do nothing but place the pillar down and dance, because he has no shot of being able to deal with a Lee Sin or an Akali, and mid lane is also pushing him with supers on your Nexus, buddy.
Here we go. The mobility duo jumping all across the screen. What can a Trundle do against that?
Nothing, and that is why he shouldn't be there. But they prove that, and they will be able to take him down. Inhibitor not going to be taken. Remember that we are only 24 minutes into this one. Oh my god.
Off he goes again on another overseas experience. He wants to get a little bit of damage with the Kisei, just out of range of his E. As the Requiem came down, but it was not lethal. They're really picking at scraps here.
I mean, they had another crack. That's another Scion ultimate used bot lane off cooldown. Still nothing gained from them, but he's using them. Tron's the only one that I think is really quietly achieving a lot in this game. And the only strategy that Mammoth should have from here on out till the end of the game is that a Tryndamere just sits in a side lane and Karthus gets everything else on the map. Nothing else is real, no one else exists. Karthus gets every single camp, every single wave of farm, and they funnel. That is the only thing that Mammoth can do, but Tron will obviously be in a lot of pressure sitting at a side lane.
Certainly is. He has no summoners. He's in a world of trouble. Look at him go.
He cannot press off this game, man. He just can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, what do we say? Puma just pops his head in and says, cheerio, mate. So, easy as you like it. 26 minutes in now, and I guess we're now playing a game of how big this gold lead will ultimately grow to be. Bio in the mid lane, pushing with the assistance of those supers, leaping away to safety, drawing the attention of Mammoth his direction. As another wave comes on through top. And another tower is soon to fall. Max has the Guardian Angel. You can see him scoping out the opportunity. So I go for the kick. Instead of a flash. Not going to make that one happen. 2 inhibs taken down now. Looking for a third.
Fury gets his ankles broken. There's no Scion ultimates left. Pillar used, so as that dissipates, their opportunities to try and find those engage angles go missing. There's a big Scion flank, but he has no ult.
Just walking up there, staunching him out. His presence alone, shaking in their boots. Tron against the world, the ult's there. He's going to fall on down. Can't do much about that one. Look at that! Thrown around the map and just cannot do anything about it. It's another ace. The map is lit up red as we're still unable to beat that kill streak that Cheon found of 16 kills individually in one game, but 12 for Kisei. No doubt a strong performance from him and from Order as a collective. 28 minutes in, claim victory one more time.
And a cheeky 17,000 gold difference basically as the game ends here. Skimmy, pretty straightforward game from the side of Order. You can see all smiles from Max. He's not allowed to smile, by the way, legally. It ruins his jawline. So just a very stoic look from the man as the game ends and the Nexus dies. That's not true.
That'd be such an interesting contract. Can you imagine the negotiations? All right, mate, we need you to do X amount of streams.
No smiling.
So many more scrims, but if you dare smile, you've got to be suave. You've got to give us that blue
Pay
steel
cut on the
look.
day. Yeah, sorry.
Absolutely.
Well, look, straightforward win, Skimmy. Not much to say from that one. Mammoth wanted to come into the game. We heard it from their coach, have some fun. I'm sure they had a lot of fun in that game, so it was obviously still predictable from the start.
Yeah, went out with a blaze of glory, I suppose, is the way to paint that one there, Mac, because very unconventional draft. Had an idea, I think we cracked onto very early on. They could, try and fight from the afterlife, but they maybe needed a little bit more. Maybe they needed the Chemtech Soul
Look, I feel like the only person that knew in the pre-game that there was going to be a Karthus there was me. I was asking you guys, I was trying to hint it, and everyone was like, I don't know what they're going to pick in draft. But look, insta-lock, bam! Karthus ADC, and we got a whole bunch of fun. I can't believe you didn't expect it for the final day, Rusty. God.
I don't know what to expect, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I should have expected Karthus.
Yo,
I didn't
should
expect to be impersonated either, but I should have expected at least Karthus.
Expect the unexpected is what I was getting at. But look, you guys mentioned it, the Graveyard Gaming buff. And I liked it until it sent them straight past the Graveyard, right into the Netherrealm, because there was only like the initial maybe 5 minutes where they had any form of advantage, and after that it was just sort of a slow but thorough downhill walk for Order, where they just managed to catch everyone off. I loved what we got to see from this composition, though, when it had a chance to show us what they could do, but, you know, you guys mentioned it, there was like a 14k, 13k gold diff for like a lot of that for the last 10 minutes, and it just got worse as the game went on. So, of course, Order could just stop them with their wallet, then hit them with it, and then, of course, take a big W. But the main thing that I'm very, very happy about is that it was all smiles in all of the player cams from the draft. I think Order, they weren't smiling in the draft because they were confused. They're like, what the hell is going on here? Is this some kind of dark tech? But then as soon as they started winning, it was all smiles. So I'm glad that everyone had a good time for their final day of groups. And of course, Mammoth's final game for groups and for split one of the LCO this year. But look, they put on a show. It was a good time, Rusty.
Yeah, they did. They put on a show. They had some fun. I mean, the draft was impossible for us to predict, and so I will say as a caster, that is one of the most fun things that you'll be able to do.
Yep.
It's just try and break your brain trying to work out what actually is going to happen. So it's always nice to have little things like that happening.
It was fun to listen to you guys just like, both of you just like racking your brain like, wait, Trin's mid, Karthus is mid.
Yeah, where's he going?
Trin's top, Sion is top, Sion is mid, Karthus is ADC,
Yeah.
Trundle is support, and it was just like a, where's this going? Anyway, I know where it's going. It's going to Kitty because we've lost our minds. Hopefully you haven't lost yours. Who do you have for the winner's interview?
Karthus? No, I'm joking. I've brought in Mr. Worldwide Handsome, Pretty Eyes Maximized for the interview. So, Max, how are you feeling playing 2 games in the jungle so far?
Look, it feels good to be back on like this side of the desk. I think yesterday's game I wasn't too happy with. I think I played pretty badly, but you know, I'll put it down to the fact that that was like my first jungle game. I hadn't even scrimmed, so today's win, definitely feeling a lot better.
And clean performance on the Lee Sin with only 1 death at the very end. Who would you say is the better Lee Sin, you or Kevy?
Oh, look, I wouldn't say I'm better than Kevy. I think it's pretty close though.
That's good to hear. Well, we've seen both amazing performances from you two as well. So we've actually seen flaws from each top team so far. And what do you think of the teams that? What do you think of the teams this split for this year compared to previous competitive years in OS?
I think what's like really been surprising is how competitive the league's been, especially in like the perceived lower tier teams, right? Like I think. Even if you look at Mammoth and Gravitas, they've all leveled up so much, and like they're teams that you actually have to worry about going into games. Like no one's a free win in this league anymore, and I think same can be said for the top of the table, right? Like all the top teams are actually like world-class talent. So I think it's a very exciting year for OS in general.
Well, talking about free wins, we just saw Order scrap up a free win from just then. So do you have anything to say to the boys back on the desk before we let you go?
No, I don't. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully.
I hear someone kissing my in our call, so can you please respond with a kiss to whoever is kissing back on the desk?
Okay. Mwah. There you go.
Thank you, Max. Well, have a great night.
Oh, bam. Didn't expect that one. Came back real quick, that did. Anyway, I don't know who was kissing in your ear. That sounds certainly like me, but it
none of us would do that.
Probably wasn't me. Definitely. Now, look, that was fun. And I'm glad that everyone had a damn good time. But of course, for the Dare MVP for the second game of the day, I think you'll all be pleasantly surprised that it was, in fact, the man hunting for MVPs all last year. He's got one as the super sub, maximized with the Dare Iced Coffee, most valuable player. KDA of 8-1 and 7, 60% KP. Man was all over, doing a damn good job and having a good old time. Filling in for Kevy Skimmy.
He was. You could see him a little bit distraught at the end, though, because he finally fell on down, ruining his perfect KDA. It would have been 8-0-17. Would have been a great stat to put on your CV. I suppose really to taunt Kevy more than anything. Remember that time I subbed in jungle and absolutely smurfed it. So, yeah, one def. End of the day, it's good to see him, as he said, on that side of the desk, back in the gaming.
Yeah, that's it. Hopefully we do get to see him soon. You know, maybe delving into casting, but after a performance like that, maybe he's just gonna keep the mouse and keyboard cranking. But you guys, you've got the content cranking as well from the fans. You guys are sending in all your favorite memories. So let's take a look at this submission. Coming through from Archie Retriever. What a good boy. He's so happy sitting in the sun. When I made it on the broadcast, and Matt called me a Labrador.
Exposed.
Do I look like a Labrador?
Exposed.
Called out, bro.
Retriever. He is pretty golden. He also looks... I thought he looked happy, but maybe he's grumpy. Maybe he's disappointed.
I think he was called a Labrador.
I will happily apologize, Archie. I'm sorry. You know, I will send a bone in the mail. One has suddenly appeared on my desk, so I can send that down and hopefully you can enjoy it more than I did. But look, Archie, love you, big boy. I'll come for some kisses one day. Look, I did want kisses from Maximize, but now I just want kisses from Archie. He looks like he's such a big good boy. He looks like if he wants to run a couple of those rubbers as well, you know, get in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pico's going to start barking in a second, getting jealous, mate.
Yeah, she's not in it. She's not in it. Now, look, if you guys want to keep up with all the fun, all the mayhem, especially during MSI, during Worlds, of course, the LCO, it doesn't go forever, but we're going to have viewing parties. We're going to have fun. So exclamation Discord in the chat to make sure you don't miss out on all the fun. And pictures of Archie, pictures of Pico, pictures of... I completely spaced and forgot your dog's name, Rusty. So,
Billy.
One, I apologize to you and Billy. But Billy's pictures are in there as well. I know what he looks like, and I know he got really excited today when you went to take him for a walk. But make sure you join the Discord. But, of course, it is time to jump on into another break because we've got a third game to get to. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not go too far. Go get yourself some water. Stay hydrated, and we'll see you for PGG Gravitas after this for some sweaty games.
Down, but it's not up for them to get slow. Try and hit the goes. Hitting the pedal to the metal as the Requiem comes down. Literally tickles him, but now he's got an assist in the air. A shutdown found, 2 for the Tryndamere. As he's ultimately going to fall on down to the clapback of a double here for order in retaliation. They're going to take out Voice as Puma's trying to peel him